And welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli. I'm Chip Patterson, coming to you live at youtube.com/Cover3 and everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe, smash that like, and come and join us in the chat where they see those sirens in their feed. They know exactly what that means. Awfully strange to have a celebratory tone given the news I'm about to deliver. Coming across our desk just before 5 p.m. Eastern Time, University of Michigan head football coach Sherrone Moore has been terminated with cause effective immediately. Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and the University of Michigan maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. Biff Poggi has been appointed head football coach in an interim capacity effective immediately. Sometimes there are hot seats. Sometimes there is smoke. Sometimes there is belief within the, general college football community that a coaching change might be on the horizon. This is not one of those situations. So yes, we can bypass the pleasantries. Unless you, Tom, were privy to this university investigation, were you?
Why can't these schools just let us live our lives, Chip?
Hey, listen, if Sherrone Moore had acted right, we would not be here right now.
This is
right.
I mean, there are always rumors that you hear, and most of the time they're all complete crap, and you just kind of dismiss them. And there have been rumors floating around coming out of Ann Arbor for recent weeks that I'd kind of dismissed, and then this happened today, and it's no longer seems to be dismiss worthy.
The thing that almost makes this easier, though obviously more difficult to get blindsided by such news from the perspective of trying to cover this and talk about this as quickly as possible with you and everybody in the Cover 3 tailgate, is that I don't think we need to linger on the how we got there.
Correct.
Yeah, that's just like an easy part for our understanding what matters about this conversation. I don't know anything that goes on there, but if the university says you messed up, it's done. Like, those words are so serious. Terminated with cause, effective immediately. Robbie Calland, Sherrone Moore buyout was a story that was written at one point. Guess what?
And now it won't have to be paid.
Now it's not. It has not come to that whatsoever. So, yeah, Michigan.
Poor Robbie. He's the real victim here.
I know. So that means that we can sort of fast forward. So in the immediate future, as the school announced, Biff Poggi takes over. Biff Poggi can very much lead this team in the Citrus Bowl prep and do what needs to be done to be able to fulfill the school's obligations for the rest of the football season. But we are also about a month away from the start of winter conditioning, and I would imagine that the University of Michigan, especially given the situations of the turnover, would like to make another full-time head coach beyond Biff Poggi. So yes. that leads us to our next piece of this. What now for Michigan?
I don't know. If this happens 3 weeks ago, or hell, a week ago,
Matt Campbell.
I'm telling you, Matt Campbell is the very first name that should be at the top of the list of who they're going to go after. And because, we've kind of talked about it. Like, before Matt Campbell took the Penn State job, this Michigan gig was one I always kind of felt like he was, had as one that was on his list of the places that he would go. And maybe it was at the top of that list. And now it's open after he's just taken the Penn State gig. So I don't know. It's a similar situation. There has been some smoke about Kalen DeBoer possibly being interested in this gig, but there was also smoke about Kalen DeBoer being interested in Penn State, and that never really seemed to come to fruition. So it's always tough to know where the smoke is coming from.
Right.
I feel like Kalen DeBoer is currently busy with his gig right now. They've got a playoff game coming up here soon. I don't know if you're aware of that. They got in. It made some people angry. Outside of that, it's weird because, you made this happen by saying that the carousel had closed. It was done. It was a wrap. You said there weren't going to be any more openings. Every coach had been hired. Every coach had been fired. Ready to move on, pack it up and go home. And yeah, you did that.
I think that I was expressed I made it very, very clear that I did not want to declare it closed. I thought it was a good time to take a breath. Maybe we should have just been gagged this whole time until the carousel is officially done.
Mhm.
So here, I'm just going to throw some names at you. All right.
Go for it.
PJ Fleck,
Sure.
Brian Kelly.
I do. I don't think that happens.
Okay. Can I throw a few more? I like these instant reactions. Then we can unpack the ones you're most interested in. Lincoln Riley.
No.
John.
I don't think Lincoln's starting over.
John Harbaugh.
No. I don't think the Harbaughs are coming back.
Mike Tomlin.
I think Mike Tomlin would be a great college coach. I have no idea why Mike Tomlin would want to coach in college.
Kenny Dillingham.
That could make a ton of sense.
Matt Campbell. You know what? If Michigan big times Penn State and takes Matt Campbell.
If Kenny Dillingham ends up at Michigan, maybe he can afford Sam Leavitt.
Ooh. But he's got a quarterback.
But here, okay, but this is one of those things. What does this mean for Bryce Underwood?
I think that Bryce Underwood's connection to the Michigan football program is tied more to the Block M than whoever's wearing the headset. Am I correct?
He seemed pretty connected to the LSU on the side of that helmet until he was no longer connected to it.
I know Michigan fans were discussing a potential change in coordinator, the addition of wide receivers. I mean, if you're Michigan, we are talking about this. This happened less than an hour ago when this all broke. Now that we're talking this out, if you're Michigan, some of this has to be hiring someone that is going to convince Underwood to stay.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're going to full court press trying to get Bryce Underwood to stay because, I mean, losing him puts you in a very tricky situation because you were kind of planning on building the team around him, and now you fired your coach, and if he leaves, it blows things up pretty quickly. What's the look?
Jed Fish.
Yeah, although, I mean, yeah. That's certainly, I think that would be in play.
Jed Fish is a former Michigan assistant. We mentioned like Florida or UCLA, nothing. And I never got the sense that that might've been a him decision, but I never got a sense as both of those searches were winding down, both UCLA and Florida. I did not get a sense that he was there at the table for those final rounds and again, I don't know whose side that is. That might've been Jed saying like, look, I don't want to be in this, but that's another one to look at, I think.
Danny and Bud aren't here, so
Mike Norvell.
Yeah. Should Michigan go after Mike Norvell? I'm doing you guys a favor.
Urban Meyer.
An olive branch. Urban Meyer would be hilarious. I don't, again, it's a job that will be attractive to pretty much anybody.
That's what I think.
Quite literally won a national title 2 years ago. Like, there's no sitting coach that if you are, I don't care who you are. I mean, outside of maybe like Kirby Smart, Ryan Day, like outside of a couple schools, you can't really be comfortable because they can win. They've won recently and they have money, a lot of money, and they don't have to pay a buyout. So they can happily give you some of that money.
What about the round of the 9 different raises and extensions that came off the Penn State job? Are we all extensioned out, or is this going to lead to another round of raises and extensions?
I think we're mostly extensioned out.
Okay.
But, I mean, there are some coaches who maybe did not get an extension yet, and maybe they will, but I don't think it's going to be quite to the degree of what we'd seen. Like some of the names we mentioned, like PJ Fleck, I don't think has signed an extension recently. Maybe he gets one.
Yeah.
Maybe you just made PJ $2 million.
Well, just to review sort of my own scattershot list, that was just, just grabbing some names because I haven't gotten a chance to speak to anybody besides you on this
I
one.
know.
Got an official university release. I've got 2 children watching a movie, and I did cut the stove off, Tom. You'll be happy that I did cut the stove off before I came upstairs. For PJ Fleck, I think it would be tough to sell that to Michigan, but at the same time, I think PJ Fleck would be a perfectly fine Michigan coach if your standard is being a pretty good Michigan football team.
Well, I think PJ would be able to recruit pretty well.
Do you think PJ wins a national championship if he gets the Michigan job?
I don't know. It's hard to win a national title. I wouldn't bet on it being a definite outcome, but I don't think that Michigan would be bad. I think Michigan would be very much in the playoff conversation every single year. I think that, PJ's quirky. Last quirky coach Michigan had worked out.
Won a national title.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think that for Michigan, and this is just based off of results that I've seen in my lifetime, they went like the play caller kind of route with Rich Rod, and that was completely fell flat on its face. I think you want a program builder type. And you look at Matt Campbell and what he did at Iowa State. That was what helped get him the job at Penn State. There's a lot of similarities to what PJ Fleck's done at Minnesota. Like, Minnesota is not competing at the top of the Big Ten, but it is a far more consistent and solid program under PJ Fleck than it had been for a while. And then we also know what PJ was able to do at Western Michigan. He got the freaking Western Michigan Broncos to a Cotton Bowl back when G5 teams were able to withstand the safety issues of playing in such games.
Well, now you're talking me into PJ Fleck being a perfectly fine place if that's where this lands.
I think it would be a perfectly fine place if that's where it landed. I don't know if that's going to be the name that excites Michigan fans. I doubt it's the name that's coming straight to their head right now thinking about it.
Well, it's like what you said about Matt Campbell and Penn State. No Penn State fan was excited about Matt Campbell, but by the time, shout out to Matt Campbell, you see the video that he put out bending the brim?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, listen. Anyway, yeah. So before, when Penn State fans told you no way, Matt Campbell won't be there, they also are cheering Matt Campbell. I think that might be our Matt Campbell for this Michigan search. Minnesota coach PJ Fleck. I agree with you, Brian Kelly. Throw him out. These are names that I mostly grabbed from just the spitball and throwing anything on the wall that see what sticks. That's sort of happening all across the world, including here in the Cover 3 tailgate. Lincoln Riley, I'll stick to my early Lincoln Riley response. He's done too much good work to just bail right now. Michigan is healthy. Michigan has a lot of money, but he's the head coach at Southern Cal. He just had a 9-3 season. He just got a #1 recruiting class. Like, they are trajectory moving in the right direction. I think that Lincoln Riley would not want to reboot that, though Lincoln Riley would fall into your Bryce Underwood sales pitch candidate.
Yeah, Lincoln can sell Bryce on coming to LA.
He does.
I think Lincoln's happy in LA. I don't know if Lincoln wants to move to Ann Arbor, which, by the way, is an absolutely wonderful town, but climate-wise, it's a bit different than LA. I think Lincoln's happy where he is.
One comment in the tailgate that I did not have. Brian Hartline, recently introduced head coach at South Florida. I did think South Florida, that's disrespectful to South Florida. I thought Brian Hartline could get the Kentucky job. I thought Brian Hartline could get some SEC jobs. Michigan would be a big jump, but yeah, I don't know. What you read there?
I do think that the trend that we've seen, like, obviously Will Stein got the Kentucky gig, but I think that what we're seeing is most of the top Power 4 programs want established head coaches, or they're promoting from within. You don't typically see coordinators getting those gigs right off the bat, especially when they're coming from other schools.
The Kalen DeBoer intrigue is pretty fascinating.
If Alabama loses in the first round to Oklahoma,
that's why, because we're going to run back the Iron Bowl. I'll tell you who's very interested in the Iron Bowl is Penn State fans, because if Auburn wins the Iron Bowl, then maybe Kalen DeBoer picks up the phone. Now we're coming right back. It's like, I'll tell you who's very interested in Alabama, Oklahoma, Michigan fans, because if all of a sudden Kalen DeBoer is one and done in the college football playoff, then all of a sudden he's available. And now we're going to talk about that. I have no clue. I've got no clue if it even like incentivizes Kalen DeBoer to lean one way or the other. Maybe he is more personally incentivized, like I'm focused on my team and let that smoke continue to burn. Because look, if Michigan gets Kalen DeBoer, that's a really freaking good hire for the University of Michigan.
And if you're Kalen DeBoer, if you can't beat him in the title game, join him.
Hey, if you're Michigan and you hire Kalen DeBoer, you have upgraded your head coach without paying a buyout.
Yeah, I would agree with that wholeheartedly. A lot of people in the chat are saying Jesse Minter. I don't have this in front of me, but I'm pretty sure Jesse has a show cause related to the Stallion stuff.
Along with Harbaugh. And we always said, well, who
Harbaugh.
cares? They're never going to come back. Also, when I first saw For Cause, I definitely thought this was going to have something to do with the NCAA. And the fact that it doesn't makes me glad we don't have to relitigate any of that. It's like, no, this is a totally separate thing.
Yeah, and I would say I've seen some speculation about why Michigan would be so open about it, like in the release, in the quote from Ward Manuel, and it is because they don't want people to think it's related to the NCAA issues.
Bingo. The John Harbaugh thing, my first thought is, well, the season is kind of going off the rails. I don't see him as somebody who bails on the team before the end of the season. So, I mean, he's got a Super Bowl. I mean, it's not like we're talking about a coach who needs to chase something, but we'll see. I mean, who knows? Maybe Biff Poggi sticks around for long enough that Harbaugh becomes more of a candidate there. And the same might be true for Tomlin. Dillingham is interesting. That would be an unbelievable glow up for Kenny Dillingham. So we'll, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he's not the surefire home run hire, but he fits the mold if you want to hire somebody who's on the up and up. And he certainly would bring a lot of passion, a lot of energy. He would have more resources, all the resources he's ever dreamed of. Other good names. What about Jason Eck?
I don't think Jason Eck is going to be somebody that Michigan gets to unless a lot of people turn them down first. And that is not a knock on Jason Eck. It's just, I don't know if he's got a long enough track record at this point to really be a legit candidate for the Michigan gig. And I would say the same thing of other guys like Sean Lewis. Like, I think Michigan is going to choose bigger here because they went big with Harbaugh. They got a national title. And then when Harbaugh left, they went with the internal promotion, and it didn't work out well for him. Obviously not for, football reasons, although the football wasn't good enough the last couple of years. But I think they're going to want somebody who they know already has established the ability to not only run a program, but run a program of this size.
Yep. Coming up on the other side, more of our reaction to Michigan firing Sherrone Moore. What's next for the Wolverines and more next.
When you need your sports news all the time,
we've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. When you need your sports in a snap, find it on CBS Sports HQ, streaming free anywhere you are.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. I'm going to say...
There was a question in the chat about why are we ignoring everybody saying Marcus Freeman? Because I don't think Marcus Freeman's going to leave Notre Dame for Michigan. Marcus Freeman is at Notre Dame, a job that in the near future now will be able to get an automatic berth in the college football playoff just by finishing in the top 12. I don't think Marcus Freeman is leaving Notre Dame for anything but an NFL gig. And I don't think he's leaving for an NFL gig.
What about, let's see. No way Matt Campbell could double back, right?
Oh, that does not strike me as Matt Campbell.
I would agree with that.
For as committed and dedicated as he was to Iowa State, despite having many opportunities to leave, he doesn't strike me as the kind who would just pull the old switcheroo that quick. I have a question for you, though.
Yeah.
So Michigan was a win away from being in the college football playoff.
Sure.
This investigation's been going on.
I don't know how long it's been going on.
The rumor's been out for a while. Okay. So anyways, what if Michigan beat Ohio State and was in the college football playoff? Are we still here right now?
I
Are we dealing with Michigan firing its coach 10 days before a playoff game for cause?
I don't know.
Or maybe it's more of a slap on the wrist.
Well, I mean, I do think that because of the NCAA issues, they are, I would imagine, as a university administration, on the overly cautious side of things.
Mm-hmm.
Overly cautious, overly transparent.
It is a nice little thing to consider as far as like an alternate universe where maybe Michigan's getting ready for a playoff game and firing its coach.
What about Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz?
Love Eli. They should
Think he could be great?
check in on him, see what his thoughts are. Could be great.
I think I would. All right.
What about Brent Key? Could be great. That's the thing. Like,
check in on him. Yeah. All right. Here, let's do our check in on him list. All right. So we're doing Eli Drinkwitz. Check in on him. Brent Key. Check in on him.
check in on him. Rhett Lashley, check in on him.
Oh, Rhett Lashley, you got to check in on him.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Dillingham, check in on him.
Check in on him. Dabo Sweeney.
Now, I'm not putting him on the check in on him list.
Jeff Brom.
Jeff Brom, check in on him. That could be a great hire for the University of Michigan football program. Sorry, my Louisville friends. I'm just calling it the way I see it.
Kalani Sitake. You've got more money than the Cookie Boy does. You're Michigan.
It's a good list.
It's like Michigan.
It's like Michigan's a good job or something.
Dan Lanning. He's not going to do it, but check in on him. Kurt Signetti.
Oh, that was where I was going to go. We spent time on this here Cover 3 podcast. Would you go hire one of his assistants?
I mean, I think that his assistants deserve far more attention than they're getting. I don't know if they would get the Michigan job.
Yeah.
I don't know if Michigan's going to go for an offensive coordinator at Indiana right now or a defensive coordinator at Indiana.
Yeah.
For no other reason than I'm not sure Michigan alumni would really look kindly upon
taking Indiana. Oh God.
There's kind of a looking down your nose aspect to the Michigan fan base and looking down at Indiana, but the defensive coordinator from them.
Yeah. All right. Any other names you want to make sure we get out here on the record for our just found out about it blindside firing of Sherrone Moore by Michigan?
I mean, we could just keep naming names.
Brett Bielema.
He's got a non-compete in the Big Ten. Greg Schiano. Hey, you know who could reset the clock? It might actually be more effective at a program that has money to spend. Luke Fickell.
Ooh, Luke Fickell. Check in on him.
Check in on Luke. Let's see, where else can we go here? What about Pat Fitzgerald? Oh no, he just took a job
at Michigan,
in the same state.
I'm not going to go with Gruden.
No, I'm not going to go with Gruden. What about Sark? Steve
Sarkisian. Check in on him.
It's too tough. He's got to play all these tough teams in the SEC. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Maybe he can go to Michigan. What about Lane? Has Lane moved in?
Do you have a hot yoga studio better than the best one in Baton Rouge? Glenn Schumann, Georgia defensive coordinator, would be. I think
that's the kind of coordinator. Yeah,
very sensible. Like that would make sense before the world went crazy when it comes to this stuff. Michigan would fire its coach. You'd look at Kirby's defensive coordinator, who's done a terrific job for multiple-time SEC champion. Glenn Schumann would be one that I'd throw on there. Glenn Schumann, check in on him.
Clark Lee,
check in on him. But only if he's bringing Barton.
Only if you bring Barton. Or just hire Barton. Let Barton pick your coach. Why are you asking us?
Yeah, he was the one that originally figured out the dirt bikes.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right, so our check-in on him list. Eli Drinkwitz, check in on him. Brent Key, check in on him. Rhett Lashley, check in on him. Kenny Dillingham, check in on him. Jeff Brom, check in on him. Kalani Sataki, check in on him with cookies. Luke Fickle, check in on him. You got money. Steve Sarkisian, check in on him. Glenn Schumann, check in on him. Clark Lee, check in on him.
Ed Orgeron.
He'll come to you. You don't need to check in on him.
And through the front door now.
And through the front door now. Yeah. So, lots more on this. We are going to be back Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, where we will give you our big game breakdown and our locks for Army Navy. Then I imagine we'll also be talking about the latest as we learn more. Get DK, get Bud's opinions on this. More discussion as we look ahead to what Michigan does next. And you can follow him on Twitter at Tom Fornelli. You can follow me at Chip _Patterson. Tom, thank you very much.
Michigan.